Good morning. Today we will solve some problems on a root locus. So before starting to solve the problems, we will see the general steps to solve the problems on root locus. So step number 1, get the general information about the number of open loop poles, zeros and number of branches from GS and HS. Then step number 2, you have to draw the pole zero plot. Then you have to identify the sections of real axis for the existence of the root locus and predict minimum number of breakaway points by using general predictions. Step number 3, calculate angle of asymptotes. Step number 4, determine the centroid. Sketch a separate sketch for step number 3 and step number 4. Step number 5, calculate the breakaway points. If breakaway points are complex conjugates, then use angle condition to check them for their validity as a breakaway point. Step number 6, calculate the intersection points of root locus with imaginary axis. Step number 7, calculate the angles of departure or arrivals if applicable. Step number 8, combine steps 1 to 7 and draw the final sketch of the root locus. And step number 9, that you have to predict the stability and performance of the given system by using the root locus. So first problem, the problem it is given. So for a unity feedback system, the transfer function GS it is given k upon s into bracket s plus 4 into s plus 2. Sketch the rough nature of the root locus showing all details on it and comment on the stability of the system. So rule number 1 is the root locus is always symmetrical about the real axis. The roots of the characteristic equation are either real or complex conjugates or combination of both. Therefore, their locus must be symmetrical about the real axis of the S-plane. Rule number 2 is you have to find out open loop poles and open loop zeros. So let GSHS equal to open loop transfer function of the system. Then P is equal to number of open loop poles and Z is equal to number of open loop zeros. Then you have to see, after finding out the open loop poles and open loop zeros, you have to see the case 1, that is if the P is greater than Z. So number of branches N equal to number of open loop poles. So in short, so now when P is greater than Z, P means it is a number of open loop poles is greater than number of open loop zeros, then number of branches will be equal to number of open loop poles. If number of open loop zeros is greater than, that is case second, if the number of open loop zeros is greater than number of open loop poles, means Z is greater than P, then number of branches equal to number of open loop zeros, that is N equal to Z. If number of open loop poles, that is case 3, if number of open loop poles is equal to number of open loop zeros, then number of branches that will be equal to number of open loop poles equal to number of open loop zeros. That is rule number 2. Rule number 3, that is regarding the root locus. A point on a root locus. A point on a real axis lies on a root locus if the sum of the number of open loop poles and the open loop zeros on the real axis to the right hand side of this point is odd. If for a particular point on a real axis, then you have to see the number of open loop poles and open loop zeros on a left hand side of this point. If it is odd, then that point will be on a root locus. That is regarding rule number 3. Now we will solve the problem. So step number 1, so GSHS it is given k upon So HS means it is a unity feedback system. So GSHS equal to K upon S into S plus 2 into S plus 4. So you first find out the poles and the zeros. So poles P equal to, so equate the denominator equal to 0 and find the value of S. So you will get the number of poles. So number of poles will be 3, and when you equate the numerator equal to 0, you will get the number of zeros. So in this case, so P equal to 3 and Z equal to 0. So number of branches, that is N equal to P, because in this case P is greater than Z. So number of branches equal to 3. So no finite 0. So all P minus Z equal to 3 branches will terminate at infinity. So starting points are locations of open loop poles are, so these are the values of poles 0, -2, -4. So if you equate the denominator equal to 0, so S equal to 0, then S plus 2 equal to 0, this means S equal to -2, and S plus 4 equal to 0 means S equal to -4. So these are the starting points or locations of the open loop poles, that is 0, -2, -4. So show that points on a pole 0 plot. So that vertical line, it is a imaginary axis, and horizontal line, it is a real axis. So on that real axis, plot the open loop poles and open loop zeros. Here there is a no 0, open loop 0. So plot open loop poles, that is 0, -2, -4 on a real axis. Then step number 2, pole 0 plot and sections of real axis. So directions of branches away from the poles. One breakaway point exists between 0 and -2 according to general prediction. So regarding RL, NRL and RL. RL means the point on a root locus. RL means on a root locus. NRL means the point not on a root locus. So if you see, if you take the point in between the 0 and -2, then there is a one pole on a right hand side of that particular point. So that means it is only one point that is on a right hand side of the point P. When the point P, it is in between 0 to -2, means it is odd. So the section between 0 to -2, that is on a root locus. So the name it is given for that section, it is RL. Then the point in between -2 and -4, then on the right hand side you can check there are 2 points, means it is an even number. So the section between -2 and -4, that will not be on a root locus. So here it is, there is a written NRL, not on a root locus. Then if you put the point in between -4 and -infinity, then on the right hand side of that point there are 3 poles, means 3 points, means it is odd. So that section between point -4 to -infinity, that will be on a root locus. So name RL it is given. And regarding the general predictions of that point, so general predictions means to predict the point on a that point, breakaway point on this root locus. So if there are adjacently placed poles on a real axis, and that real axis, it is a part of root locus, then there exists minimum one breakaway point. So here it is, there are adjacently placed poles on a real axis. So it is given that one breakaway point possible in between 0 to -2. Also, there are two adjacent poles that are -2 and -4, but that section it is not on a root locus. So breakaway point that will not be possible in between -2 and -4. And there is a second case to predict the breakaway point if there are two adjacently placed zeros on a real axis. So there are no any zeros adjacently placed zeros on a real axis, so that will not be considered. Now next is rule number 4, that is to find out the asymptotes. Next is to find out the asymptotes. So generally number of poles are more than number of zeros, and in such case p minus z branches will approach to infinity. This rule gives us information about how these branches approach to infinity. So the branches which are approaching to infinity do so along the straight lines called the asymptotes of the root locus. So you have to find out the asymptotes by calculating the angle. So angle of such asymptotes are given by theta equal to 2q plus 1 into 180 degree upon p minus z. So p minus z means p it is a number of poles and z is a number of zeros, where q is equal to 0, 1, 2. So that values of q that you have to put in that formula, that depends upon, so how many values that you have to take, it will be p minus z minus 1. So p is, in this case p is 3 and z is 0. So 3 minus 0 minus 1 means two values that you have to take, that is 0 and 1. So you can see here, so sections of real axis identified as a part of root locus. As to right side sum of poles and zeros is odd for those sections. Now angles of asymptotes. So three branches are approaching to infinity. So three asymptotes are required. So theta equal to 2q plus 1 into 180 degree upon p minus z. So q equal to 0, 1, 2. So three values that you have to put. So you will get three angles. So theta 1 is equal to 60 degree, theta 2 is equal to 180 degree, and theta 3 equal to 300 degree. Now rule number 5, you have to find out the centroid. So the formula for centroid it is given. So centroid means the angle of asymptotes are not sufficient, but where the asymptotes are located in S-plane is equally important. So all the asymptotes intersect the real axis at a common point known as centroid. So by using this formula, so summation real parts of poles and minus summation of real parts of zeros upon p minus z, you will get the centroid. So centroid, that will be summation of real parts of poles minus summation of real parts of zeros upon p minus z, that is 0, minus 2, minus 4. So that 0, minus 2, minus 4, these are the values of the poles that we have already calculated. So here it is 0, minus 2, minus 4, that is a summation of that poles. Then summation of real parts of zeros, that is not available in this case, not applicable. So it will be 0, minus 2, minus 4 upon 3, that will be minus 2. Now you can see in the first part we have drawn the pole 0 plot, then 0, minus 2, minus 4, that we have already plotted. Then you have to plot the asymptotes. So three straight lines that you have to plot, and angle of that asymptotes that are 60 degree, 180 degree, and here it is 60 degree, 180 degree, and 300 degree. So draw the lines according to that angle. So plus So first asymptote, that is theta 1, that is drawn at 60 degree. Then second asymptote, that is drawn at 180 degree from the centroid point, that is -2. So that point of asymptotes that will intersect on a real axis, that is called a centroid. And from that centroid you have to draw theta 1, theta 2, and third is theta 3, that is at 300 degrees. So branches will approach to infinity along these lines which are asymptotes. Now the next step, that is rule number 6, you have to find out the breakaway point for the root locus. So breakaway point is a point on a root locus where multiple roots of the characteristic equation occurs for a particular value of k. Now the general predictions that we have already discussed regarding general predictions regarding adjacently placed poles. This example for that it is given. It is a separate example that is given for that prediction number 1. If there are adjacent poles, then there will be the one breakaway point. That is the first example. Then if there are two adjacently placed zeros on a real axis and that part that will be on a root locus, then one breakpoint will be available. So for that prediction number 2, this is a separate example. It is given two poles that are shown and this part it is on a root locus. So there is a one breakaway point that is in between -2 to -4 because it is a part of the root locus. So s equal to -2 and s equal to -4 are adjacently placed zeros and section between them is a part of root locus. So there exists minimum one breakaway point in between them. So it is a separate example, no, not the part of the main example. So it is shown for that predictions of the breakaway point. And the third is if there is a zero on a real axis and to the left of that zero there is a no pole or zero existing on the real axis and is a part of root locus. For that the separate example it is given. So you can see the breakaway point that is shown on the real axis. Now we will come to our main problem. Now the steps to determine coordinates of breakaway points. So first step, that is construct the characteristic equation 1 plus GSHS equal to 0 of the system. Then from this equation, separating terms involving k and terms involving s, write the value of k in terms of k equal to f of s and differentiate above equation with respect to s, equating it to 0, that is dk by ds equal to 0. And roots of the equation dk by ds equal to 0 gives us breakaway points. Now we have to find that breakaway point. So we have predicted the section of the real axis where breakaway point that is available by general prediction in a step number 2. Now we have to find out that value of that breakaway point. So this is a method to find out that breakaway point. So here it is. So characteristic equation is 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. So 1 plus k upon, so this is a k upon s into s plus 2, s plus 4. This is a GSHS that is given in an example. So 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. So it means s cube plus 3s square plus 8s plus k is equal to 0. Right, in terms of, so separate k and s on both sides. So k equal to minus s cube minus 6s square minus 8s. So dk by ds, so differentiate that k. So dk by ds equal to minus 3s square minus 12s minus 8 equal to 0. That is 3s square plus 12s plus 8 equal to 0. Now find out the roots. That roots will be the breakaway points. So after finding the roots, you will get the values minus 0.845 and minus 3.15. So two values or the two breakaway points that you will get by this expression, that is the roots. As there is a no root locus between -2 to -4. So minus 3.15 cannot be a breakpoint. So only one breakpoint that will be available. So we have to find out that breakaway point on a root locus. So the first point, that is second point, that is minus 3.15, that will be in between -2 to -4. But that region or section between the -2 and the -4, that will not be on a root locus. So this point cannot be a breakaway point. So it also can be confirmed by calculating k for s equal to minus 3.15. It will be negative. That confirms s equal to minus 3.15 is not a breakaway point. So for s equal to minus 3.15, k will be minus 3.079, substituting in equation for k. So that value is negative, means this will not be a breakaway point. But as there has to be breakaway point between 0 to -2. So s equal to minus 0.845 is valid breakaway point. So for s equal to minus 0.845, k will be plus 3.079. So you can confirm by putting the value of s equal to minus 0.845 in a expression of k. As k is positive, s equal to minus 0.845 is a valid breakaway point. Rule number 7, intersection of root locus with imaginary axis. This can be determined by following procedure. So consider characteristic equation 1 plus gs hs equal to 0. Step 2, construct roots array in terms of k. Step 3, determine k marginal, that is value of k, which creates one of the rows of roots array as row of zeros. And step 4, construct auxiliary equation as equal to 0 by using coefficients of row which is just above the rows of zeros. And step number 5 is roots of auxiliary equation as equal to 0 for k equal to k marginal are nothing but the intersection points of root locus with imaginary axis. Now we will see. So intersection of points with imaginary axis, characteristic equation is s raised to 3 plus 6x square plus 8s plus k is equal to 0. So form the roots array. So procedure that you have already known. So 1 6 8k, find out the value for s raised to 1 row. You will get 48 minus k upon 6, and after finding out the value for s raised to 0 row, that is k. Now find out k marginal. So k marginal equal to 48, which makes the row of s raised to 1 as row of zeros. If you put the value of 48 in place of k, the s raised to 1 row, that will becomes 0. So k marginal, that will be 48. Now as equal to 6s square plus k equal to 0. So take the previous row. Then k marginal equal to 48. So 6s square plus 48 equal to 0. S square equal to minus 8. So s equal to plus or minus j root 8, means plus or minus j 2.828, means that intersection of root locus with imaginary axis is at plus or minus j 2.828, and corresponding value of k marginal equal to 48. Steps number 7, as there are no complex conjugate poles or zeros, no angle of departures or arrivals are required to be calculated. When you calculate the poles and zeros, if there are if the poles or zeros are complex conjugates, then only you have to find out the angle of departure and the angle of arrival. Otherwise, not necessary to calculate. The complete root locus is shown on the next slide. and the prediction about stability. So first of all, we will see the root locus. So imaginary axis and real axis, then s equal to 0, -2, -4, then -2, it is a centroid that we have already seen how it is formed. Then asymptotes that we have to draw, θ1, θ2, θ3, that we have already drawn. Then we have calculated the breakaway point that is in between 0 to -2. So that value of s equal to -0.845. So you have to plot that point, and then you have to draw the root locus. So before that, also you have already calculated the values of the root locus that intersects the imaginary axis, that is plus j 2.82. At the top you can see imaginary axis intersection, and minus j 2.82, and then you have to draw the curve like this. So stability is predicted by locations of dominant roots. Dominant roots are those which are located closest to the imaginary axis. Now we will see the prediction about stability. So for 0, or for k is in between 0 to 48, all the roots are in the left half of S plane. Hence system is absolutely stable. For k marginal, that is equal to plus 48, a pair of dominant roots on imaginary axis with remaining roots in left half. So system is marginally stable, oscillating at 2.82 radian per second. And for the value of k above 48, or it is in between 48 to infinity, dominant roots are located in right half of S plane. Hence system is unstable. So if you go on a right hand side of the imaginary axis, the system that will be unstable, and on a left hand side of the imaginary axis, then that for that points the system will be stable. Now the next example number 2, sketch the root locus for the system having GSHS equal to k upon s into s raised s square plus 2s plus 2. So first find out poles, zeros. So there are 3 poles and z equal to 0. No zeros are there. So number of branches will be p minus z, that is 3 branches approaching to infinity. Starting points, open loop poles. If you see the poles and the zeros, so you have to find out the roots. So poles will be values of poles, that will be s equal to 0, and you have to solve that equation s square plus 2s plus 2. You have to find out the roots of that equation. You will get s equal to -1 plus j and s equal to -1 minus j. So that are the points of the open loop poles: 0, -1 plus j and -1 minus j. So these values are complex conjugates, means at last you for the step number last steps, that is step number 9, you have to find out the angle of departure and angle of arrival if the roots are complex conjugates. Step number 2, pole 0 plot and section of the real axis. So draw the vertical and horizontal axis. Horizontal axis means real axis, vertical axis it is the imaginary axis. So 0, poles 0, then s equal to -1 plus j. So see the -1 on a real axis and j on a imaginary axis. You have to plot that pole above the real axis and below the real axis. So that is the plotting. So one branch is approaching to minus infinity, starting from pole at s equal to 0. No breakaway point exists according to general predictions. So breakaway point that will not be available on a real axis by the general prediction. Step number 3, angle of asymptotes. So 3 branches approaching to infinity, 3 asymptotes required. So you have to put the value of q is equal to 0, 1, 2. That is, after putting the value in a formula, you will get theta 1 equal to 60 degree, theta 2 equal to 180 degree, and theta 3 equal to 300 degree. So you have to plot the asymptotes. So before that, before plotting the asymptotes, you should know the centroid. So find out centroid, the summation of poles minus zeros upon p minus z, that is poles minus zeros. So 0 minus 1 minus 1 and minus 0 upon 3, you will get the value minus 0.67. So that will be the centroid, and from that centroid you have to draw the asymptotes of the given angle, that is theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Now you have to find out breakaway point. The calculation it is given 1 plus GSHS, that you have to calculate. After that you will get the equation s cube plus 2s square plus 2s plus k is equal to 0. Find out the value of k, then differentiate k with respect to s. So dk by ds you will get, and after that you will get, after differentiation you will get 3s square plus 4s plus 2 equal to 0. Find out the roots. You will get the roots minus 0.67 plus or minus j 0.4714. So instead of substituting that value in expression for k, we can check validity of these points as breakaway points by using angle condition. So angle condition, that is using to put the values in that formula, you will get minus 164.11 degrees. So this is not odd multiple of 180 degree, hence point is not on a root locus, and hence there is no breakaway point existing for this system. Now intersection of with imaginary axis. So roots array that we have to form. After forming roots array, you have to find the k marginal. So k marginal will be 4. If you put the value of so you have to make that s raised to 1 row equal to 0. So when you make it 0, so k will be 4. So k marginal will be 4. So a is equal to 2a square plus k is equal to 0. So that is the previous row, that is row number s square. You will get that expression. At k marginal, you will get the value of s, that is equal to s square is equal to minus 2. So you have to find out the roots, s equal to plus or minus j 1 plus 414. So that is the intersection points. Now we have to find angle of departure, because the roots are complex conjugates. We have to find out angle of departure. So that is a procedure. So how to find out angle of departure, that is given in this rule. So phi d, that is angle of departure, that will be equal to 180 degree minus 5, where phi equal to summation phi p minus summation phi z. So summation phi p means contributions by the angles made by remaining poles at the poles at which phi d is to be calculated, and summation phi z, that will be equal to contributions by the angles made by remaining zeros at the pole at which phi d is to be calculated. So here it is, you can see. So as the branch is departing as minus 1 plus j, let us calculate angle of departure. So phi p1 equal to 135. So you have to join that pole. Then phi p2 equal to 90 degree. Then summation of phi p equal to phi p1 plus phi p2. So that will be equal to 225, and summation phi z equal to 0, because no zeros are available. So phi equal to summation phi p minus summation phi z equal to 225. So you can find out angle of departure equal to minus 45 degree. So at minus 1 minus j, angle of departure will be plus 45 degree. Now calculate complete root locus and comment on stability. So this is a procedure, that is a rule that is given, details of the rule that is given, how to calculate the angle of departure. So to calculate summation phi p, join all the remaining poles to the complex pole under consideration. So complex pole here, that minus 1 plus j, this is a pole under consideration. So you have to join all the poles to that poles. So that pole at 0, it is joined to that pole minus 1 plus j, and another pole that is minus 1 minus j, it is connected to the minus 1 plus j pole, and that angle that you have to calculate and that you have to add to get the summation of phi p that is given here. Angle of arrival at a complex 0, so there is a no zeros, so angle of arrival it is not required. Now see how it is drawn. So phi d equal to, that is angle of departure. So that line from that pole it is drawn. So it is minus 45. So it is drawn downwards, and phi d equal to plus 45, it is drawn from minus 1 minus j pole in a upward direction, that is because it is plus 45, and then you have to draw the root locus like that. So root locus it is drawn. So this is regarding the example number 2. So k marginal, value for k marginal equal to 4, that is intersection point that is shown, that is j 1.414 at the top and as well as at the bottom it is shown. The centroid for the to draw the asymptotes that are shown, and then because that parts of the root that will not intersect at the on a real axis, so it will be started from the complex poles. Then the third example, the GSHS it is given. Now p equal to 3, z equal to 1, and number of branches will be p minus z, that is, so that will be equal to, because p is greater than z, means number of branches equal to number of poles, that is 3. Values of poles, that is s equal to 0, s equal to minus 1 plus j, s equal to minus 1 minus j. Now plot the pole 0 plot, then draw NRL, that is point not on a root locus, then RL, that is root locus. Draw this, and by using general prediction, see the breakaway point. So no breakaway point according to general prediction. Draw the angle of asymptotes, that is formula is given. So angle of asymptotes that will be equal to theta equal to plus 90 degree and 270 degree. So draw theta 1 and theta 2 on a centroid. So first calculate the centroid. So real parts of poles minus summation of real parts of zeros upon number of poles minus number of zeros. So poles are 0 minus 1 minus 1 minus 0 is minus 4 upon 2, that is equal to plus 1. So on a plus 1 you have to draw the asymptotes theta 1 and theta 2. Then intersection of the with the imaginary axis, that point it is calculated, that is s equal to plus or minus j2, that is value. So all the procedure that you have already seen in the previous slides. So intersection points that will be plus or minus j2. Now angle of departure that is required. Now join the pole under consideration by the zeros and the poles. So draw all the draw all the lines or join all the lines with the pole under consideration. So pole under consideration is -1 plus j, and join all the lines, that is 0 to that pole, then -1 minus j pole to that pole under consideration, and that -4 point to -1 plus j pole, and calculate the angles. And after calculating, you will get theta d, that is angle of departure, equal to plus 26.56 for s equal to -1 minus j, and minus 26.56 for -1 plus j. Now draw the root locus. So angle of departure will be phi d, that is minus 26.56, that is in a downward direction, and for -1 minus j, it is phi d equal to plus 26.56, it will be in a upward direction, and according to that, draw the root locus, draw that curve, and j2 and j minus 2, that will be the intersection point on a imaginary axis. So according to that, you have to draw that curve. So prediction about stability. So for the value of k equal to 0 to 2, all the roots are in a left half of S plane. So system is absolutely stable. For k marginal equal to +2, dominant roots are on imaginary axis. So system is marginally stable, which oscillates at 2 radian per second, and k is greater than 2. Roots are in a right half of S plane. So system is unstable in nature. Thank you. So this is regarding the problems on a root locus. Thank you.